what do you think is the solution to the rising cost of fuel, which, as you know, drives the cost of a number of other products?
I think the first thing that we need to do is to look at the taxes, because 50% almost of the cost of fuel in Kenya is taxes. I think it's time as a country we looked at, I think there are 15 different taxes on fuel. And I think it's time we looked at how else do we raise revenue.
Which taxes would you be proposing to remove from fuel, the cost of fuel?
I think majority of the taxes that are in that bracket, I think there are almost 15 different taxes that are there. I do not have the specifics, but those 15, I think we need to interrogate these 15 different taxes. Which ones can we put aside so that, like other countries, we can limit the taxation on fuel?
I think they need to explain three key things. One, if you're going to have VAT on fuel from 8 to 16, how are you going to raise money to pay our debts? Number two, if you're going to have tax levied on content creators at 16%, how are you going to raise more money? And then number three, on insurance compensation. There's no way you're going to raise more money unless they explain. Because what you're doing is, you are getting money from people who are trying to create wealth and expand their businesses to afford the government a wider platform to collect taxes. The natural thing to do is to provide an enabling environment that will help people create wealth. You know, taxes actually deny people the opportunity to invest more and expand their business, especially if we are taxing and there is no clear pathway to how that tax is coming back to benefit the common mwananchi. And I think that's where Kenyans are, that Kenyans understand that once money goes to the government with the regime that we've had in the past and even what we have right now, and the corruption that has become endemic and just out of control, they don't see how the taxes that we are going to give this government will come back to help us. But I think at the bottom of all this is, how do they explain when you increase the cost of fuel, when you start taxing people whose creative industry is not supported by any governmental framework, when people who have invested in capital goods lose those goods, and then you tax the compensation on those goods, they are likely to run out of business. And therefore, it is like shooting yourself in the foot when you say we want to pay debt and live within our means by taxing people more.